Hi there, Cancer. Welcome to your end of September 2025 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. I hope I don't get the Five of Cups because I'm getting that over and over again. Wow. I haven't probably done just over half the readings, but still. I was like a little bit nervous I was going to get that. Okay, you saw that I cut that deck, right? Oh no. Oh god, you gotta love those cards. All right. Well, things got better right quick. The one thing I want to say to you, because I'm a Sagittarian and I remember, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius, so it might be a little bit different, but I remember a few years ago when they were saying, oh, wow, Jupiter's going into Sagittarius and, it's going to be so great for Sagittarians. And I remember this is on other astrologers' videos, and these people would write things like, I'm a Sagittarian and this has been like a terrible year, what are they talking about and all this stuff. And then some astrologer, I think, said something like Jupiter will, what do you call it? Like amplify whatever is going on, Jupiter will amplify that. So when it's in your own sign in that first house, it will bring you more of the same. So if you've already gotten like a shit show happening, maybe that will increase or continue. Or no, it would be like it would increase. And now, of course, that's not necessarily how it works, because Jupiter in the first house can give you a lot more optimism, and that can help you to kind of manifest better things for yourself if you tend to be a little bit cynical or afraid of doing new things and something like that, because you do have Jupiter in your sign. So it's not like, these cards on the top here, I feel like I'm like, okay, what's going on astrologically? And by the way, I have a forecast for month of October already up, and for September, obviously. So, it's, I think things are pretty good overall, but, when Mars goes into Scorpio, which is happening on September 22nd, that will be the 5th house for Cancer. So it's the house of love and creativity. So maybe some of these cards are reflecting that. The heart of the matter is the Nine of Wands. This is a card of boundaries or lack thereof. And you can see the woman's weary expression, kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop, basically. So to me, if there's any kind of past that you have where you broke up with someone, maybe they were not really a good person, or they broke up with you. I mean, sometimes these narcissistic individuals, they're the ones who break up with their partner. And it's in those situations, it might at first feel kind of like bad, and then you're like, oh wow, I'm so glad that I'm out of that situation. And you don't want anything more to do with them, but then that's when they tend to come back around, sniffing around, because they know that you're becoming independent of them, and they can't control you anymore. So if there's somebody in your life that you have been estranged from and you just want to continue to be estranged from, but you get the sense that they're about to come back. You're very wary, you're on high alert. But it's also about what are your boundaries? Because somebody can say a certain thing and you might just be putty in their hands and be like, oh, wow, they like me. They really, really like me. That kind of a feeling, instead of thinking they're just trying to worm their way back and they'll say whatever they have to say. And by the way, I'm not suggesting that every breakup is a situation with narcissism, or that you can never reunite with someone. Obviously, that's not what I'm saying. But when you've had like a history with someone where they're very controlling and, like manipulative and stuff, that's the type of toxic relationship that I'm referring to. In the past position, we have the Five of Cups, and this is mourning the loss of something. This was the card that I said, I keep getting over and over again. Why is this happening? Are a lot of people breaking up? Have a lot of people lost somebody that they love in their life that may not have any kind of malevolent origin? Maybe it's through death, or because the person is traveling and they have to go somewhere far away, and there's that feeling of loss regardless. Or maybe in terms of losing a job. But see, it's funny, if this has to do with losing a job and you have the Nine of Wands, it might be one of those situations, which I don't fully understand, but where people say they're laid off and then they get rehired. And it's kind of like an on again, off again type of thing. And it's a natural thing, because laid off to me means that it's slow, or, whatever. And then they go back when it's busy. But with the Nine of Wands, it can be like, I need to have boundaries because I'm just allowing myself to be at their mercy, and it's not working out for me, because you might feel like, first of all, with the Five of Cups, you may feel that constant sense of loss, like loss of income, but also this feeling that you're not highly valued. Maybe other people have similar positions in the company, and yet they're kind of permanent. So if you're, there's certain terms for people that work within a company, that some are permanent employees and some are kind of at-will employees, those kind of things. So it can be one of those things, and it might have worked out for you at one time, but now it's just aggravating, or, with the higher message, it's anxiety producing, because you may feel like you can't count on anything. Cancer is ruled by the moon. The moon in astrology can represent security, what makes us feel safe in life. The moon represents the mother. So the feeling nurtured by another person or by your employer can be this important need, like an emotional need for Cancer, that maybe another sign doesn't really have to that level, where you kind of like, it makes you feel uncomfortable to be in a situation that feels unstable. And also in a personal relationship, you may be feeling anxiety about somebody because you can't really relax around them. There's something about them, either they, keep ghosting you or whatever, on again, off again. There's like, you feel like you're being yanked around, and you probably are. What crosses you is the Eight of Wands. So you may be feeling there may be still this activation that needs to take place in your life, meaning that it's when the Eight of Wands is upright, and I could have picked it upright, but I'm reading it as a challenge card. When it's upright, it's all about all systems are go. Things are happening. When it's in the challenge position, it means that there's a blockage for that happening. My feeling is that this energy of the Nine of Wands is blocking forward movement in your life. Because, I mean, the body language of the Nine of Wands, it's just so, it's very self-protective, but it's kind of like, it's almost like it's taking all of your energy to try to maintain something with someone that isn't necessarily worth maintaining. So it's kind of like if a person has whatever a job situation is that is unsatisfactory, but it's like they have that, they say the devil, they have an awareness of that business or that company, and it's almost easier, it feels more comfortable to stay in the known quantity than it is to kind of take a chance and put into motion this thing where you're actively looking for another job. It can almost feel like, I don't want to put that into motion. And Cancer is a cardinal sign, so you are perfectly willing and able to take action, but on your terms. And you tend to you do tend to cling emotionally to people, places, and things. Sometimes it's out of misplaced sentiment, but sometimes it may simply be out of that desire for security. What's coming in is the Three of Cups. This is a card of celebration. It can be also, you may have something to celebrate. Maybe you do get some kind of break in the action where things start to flow for you. The Wheel of Fortune card rules Jupiter. Or Jupiter, yeah, Jupiter rules the Wheel of Fortune card in the tarot. And one of the themes of the Wheel of Fortune, even though I know this is the Three of Cups, but I'm talking about what Jupiter represents for the Wheel of Fortune, is a twist of fate, or a change, a turn of events. And that's how life works, really, when you think about it. You can be going on, and it seems like nothing changes, and then all of a sudden everything changes, because all it takes is one shift. Now, this shift could come from you. You could end up, you could just simply call your friends and say, hey, I need to have a ladies' night out, and I need us to really, I need to talk to you. I need your support. And maybe you have been kind of avoiding your friends because you've been so consumed with a toxic relationship. And sometimes, I can't speak for men, but sometimes women do that because they're codependent. They're, when they get into a relationship, they just kind of forget about their friends. And that's to your detriment, because they can be a great source of comfort. But there may be some external event, a baby shower, a wedding shower, simply somebody coming into town, or whatever, a birthday party, and you get together, and that kind of helps to activate that energy. And the outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. This is a really great card. This is the queen of her castle. That vibration of peace, comfort, luxury. It's a good money card, but it's also domestic, which is where you shine. Typically, Cancer, in the home. male and female. Male Cancerians, they might be great cooks. They might just really feel comfortable in the home. And so there may be some reason that you're celebrating. Maybe you're getting a new job and you're making more money. And maybe, these things can change quite rapidly. So if you feel like this right now or like that, or like that, understand that this too shall pass. All right, that's what I have for you, Cancer. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.